Hey, it's Ace, welcome back. Season 2 has been online for the entire weekend now. Here are my deep dive thoughts about it. Let's start with the big thing, the new operator Sinova, which you unlock at Battle Pass level 15. I unlocked him at the second lane, and when I tried him, I was instantly underwhelmed how weak he felt to me. Then I did some digging and I found out that he was actually nerfed 9 times before he came to our client, which maybe is a good thing, but today, as I'm recording this, you can see they're actually buffing this operator quite significantly in both game modes. Before this patch, of course, his glass on his shield would actually break extremely quickly in Warfare mode, specifically because it's 32 players shooting this glass, so the one usage I found for this operator was actually annoying Luna rats on some of these longer maps where they love to play on Ascension or Trench lines, flanking them and pinging them constantly so people see them where they are on the map, and then when they would get annoyed and try to push me because they cannot kill them, I would grapple them and bash their head in with a shield. That was the one fun usage I found for this operator. But, you know, this big pusher he was meant to be definitely felt underwhelming because it takes a very long time to actually deploy his shield, then his visor breaks extremely quickly. The Barbed Wire is quite nice, it does a lot of damage actually. If people get stuck in it and they're under fire, it's kind of fun to use. He's very cool. He lacked cooldowns and he's very clunky to use. The clunk is the main factor about him. But we're gonna see today, after this patch, how that all feels, and hopefully it feels for the better. If you haven't had the chance to play over the weekend, one thing that will be apparent to you as soon as you log in is the new fortification systems they added, basically from Battlefield 5. If you played that game, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, it basically means you can build a bunch of sandbags. Yes, it's Sandbag City. As a player now, you will have an icon on your UI for building fortifications or cover. They're basically just sandbags from what I can tell. The one thing that surprised me is that you can build these fortifications as all characters, though you can only, what it seems to be, build them at predetermined areas. You cannot just build them everywhere. You will have like a little white outline where you can build them, but you can build them as all characters. The two new maps, Trainwreck and Knife's Edge. You've seen me play Trainwrecks at the beginning of this video. I played it now a couple times as attacker and defender, and I felt it was quite a solid map. In my opinion, maybe the best Delta Force map we received as of right now. It feels familiar to me, it feels like I played it before in some of the older Battlefield games. It offers very good camping position, it offers very good flanking routes, it offers solid visibility, and it just has good atmosphere to it. It's quite an immersive map, I have to say. It really has that older style to it. You will see exactly what I'm talking about when you play it. The other map, unfortunately, Knife's Edge felt horrific to me, and I think it's probably one of the worst maps in the game when put together with Shafted in the same pot. It's a linear map with basically no flank routes. It has like 2 stories. You have an upper story and a bottom story when you get to the bottom sectors. And it's just a chaotic clusterfuck of spam and smoke grenades and all the other stuff you basically face on Shafted. It's basically Shafted 2.0, at least in AD mode, the breakthrough mode. On Conquest, I don't know, I don't play Conquest because the queue times are super long in EU. Cannot find the match that quickly to record content, so I just play Breakthrough. And I enjoy Breakthrough way more than Conquest. So those are the 2 new maps. If you play them, tell me in the comment section how you felt about it. Along with the new maps, we also received soft reworks on many of the old maps, namely Cracked, Ascension and Shafted. On Cracked, as attacker, when you spawn, you will notice that you now have 3 bases to choose from on the Alpha objective and many of the older objectives. The new base is located on the far right from the other older 2 bases, allowing for a very deep right flank on the Alpha objective, where you can surround the enemies and also kill the annoying Luna players who are usually sniping in their uncap on the right side, which is appreciated. Played it now a couple times and Cracked attack felt much more fluid to me personally. Then we have Shafted defense. On Alpha, you will notice that the train area is now more extended to the right for the defenders, allowing for at least opportunities to hold that Alpha objective longer than 2 fucking seconds as usually is on Shafted defense in some of the higher MMR lobbies. Then we have Ascension, the last objective, the worst objective on Ascension. The antenna, the big tower you're seeing on the screen right now, can actually collapse, which is kind of crazy. You can go under the tunnel, allowing attackers and defenders new locations to defend or attack, making the objective much more chaotic. But it's chaotic, in my opinion, in a much more fluid and better fashion than just having random spam. It's quite good, guys. I really enjoyed the reworks of the new maps, or like soft reworks, I guess. Who knew that a couple of new spawn points and maybe a little bit more generous uncapped areas for the defenders would change the map drastically, but they did, and you will feel that almost immediately when you play them. Let's dive into the operator balance changes. The most noticeable for me were Luna and Vyron. Let's start with Vyron. The Magnetic Bomb, it was nerfed quite heavily. I haven't died to a Magnetic Bomb since this patch dropped. The throw distance of it is shorter, the explosion radius is smaller, so dying to it is quite hard, even if you don't have solid positioning as a player. And you know what? That's a good thing. Fuck Vyron and fuck Magnetic Bomb. It became very oppressive as everybody who I knew started playing Vyron just started abusing this Magnetic Bomb, how safe it was to use them. Now you have to kind of extend as Vyron to land that super accurate magnetism to get multi-kills with it. And you know what? I think that's a good thing. Luna unfortunately received a few buffs. She will be wallhacked more than ever. Namely, the buff she received was that she can now mark the vehicles with her Volt Arrow. I was playing in a tank earlier. Basically what happens, you get hit by a Volt Arrow, and then all of the engineers, and now we have 3 of them, can lock you with the 84, and you get hit by, you know, a lock-on missile. That's how it works, and it does a little bit more damage. That's what it does. But namely now is you have Lunas running around with Scar H or AUG, and while AUG isn't the best of weapons, Scar H definitely is a top engineer weapon, and now Luna has it. For some reason, they thought that her having access to SMG-45, you know, in my opinion, the best gun in the game, she now also has access to Scar H. If she needs, you know, longer range weapon to beam you with and then wallhack you more often with her arrows. So that's very unfortunate. I honestly don't know why they keep buffing Luna. I guess now we can assume she's the poster child for Delta Force, which is quite annoying. We saw how fast they can work with buffing the shield operator, yet we never ever received the Luna nerf. I don't know why. In my opinion, she's really ruining the game. It'll be very apparent to you how often you're getting wallhacked in Season 2. At least now, at the beginning days when everybody's trying Scar H and Luna, it's very annoying. Many people have been reporting a big performance hit this patch as well. I personally monitored my system over the weekend, and I haven't noticed a big change with my frames per second. But some people reported losing up to 100 FPS. If you're one of them, please leave your PC specs in the comment section and tell me how much FPS you lost, because, you know, obviously it's a pretty big problem. I was fortunate that I wasn't one of them. If you are one of them, I'm sorry, hopefully they fix that soon. They also changed some of the things about the weapons, mainly stability. You now have a fixed flinch multiplier of 0.8, and no matter how much stability you're gonna pump on your weapon, that flinch multiplier will not change, which kind of made the guns a little bit worse. You will notice more flinch in the game, which in my opinion, of course, is a bad thing. I hate flinch. I think a lot of people hate flinch, yet here now they made it that flinch is baseline 0.8, no matter what you do, which is annoying. However, don't worry about the builds too much. Having stability on some weapons is still good, because stability is affected by holding down breath, so, you know, the recoil reduction is still okay, and you don't have to worry too much. However, on some weapons, having more handling now is also viable. You don't have to have more stability on some of the other weapons. So I'll update some of the builds where I felt that they don't need so much stability anymore, and you can get away with more handling, resulting of course in better movement speed, better ADS speed, and so on. So we'll get into that later, but you don't have to panic, oh my god, all my builds are dead, what do I have to do? No, it wasn't that big of a hit. The most noticeable hit, as I said, is just the flinch is more noticeable in game, and since you cannot fix this, it doesn't really matter how much stability you have. So yeah, that about wraps up Season 2 for me personally, and honestly it leaves a lot left to be desired. One of my biggest pet peeves in Delta Force is the minimap. The fact that I cannot change the size of it, the shape, I cannot move it around my screen is really annoying. They still haven't given us this option, which is unfortunate. You cannot change squads in Warfare mode to get maybe a big spawn beacon spawn or something. That hasn't been done yet, which is unfortunate. The Luna buff, of course, is quite unfortunate. So yeah, Season 2, honestly, mild. I hoped it would be bigger, but it's quite mild. We also haven't heard a thing about the console release yet. Still no official date, which sucks. But I'll give them this. Many of the new maps feel better to play. And yeah, if you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about Season 2. What about your thoughts about the changes, about the weapons, about the operator buffs, and so on. And yeah, take it easy, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.